Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. This is a video kind of recouping what happened at TFCon. TFCon was amazing. I'm glad I went. Yeah, I definitely left my comfort zone doing that, and I'm very happy that I did leave my comfort zone doing that. I met plenty of amazing people there. They all made me smile and laugh. It warmed my heart. I had fans of my channel actually walk up. Fun part thing, I spent Friday night, probably 2 hours, looking for Patriot Prime reviews and his gang of people, Rodimus Primal and Ghost Prime reviews, and Fireside Talks, and and all the other ones. Man, it's hard to keep all the names in your head. Anyway, so I'm looking for these people, and they're like, "We'll be at the bar." But what they didn't say is that at the DoubleTree Hilton, had like 5 bars. So I went to the one by the pool, nobody there. I went to the one with the live music, nobody there. I went to this random bar. It's kind of off to the side, nobody there. And I went to another bar, had a drink, the interior bar of the hotel, because I figured that's where they'd be. And I saw some people selling action figures in the lobby. I talked to them for a few minutes, but I just I didn't feel completely right because I was a man on a mission and I had to find Patriot Prime. So I went to the bar. I had a drink. I talked to some people at the bar, and then I went back out to try and find Patriot Prime. And me and my friend, who was my visual assistant there, CCS's, he helped me out a lot. He didn't really want to be at that convention. He was only there because he was supporting me, and that for that, I love the guy. He came there not because he wanted to, but because he wanted to help me, and that was amazing of him. So we're sitting out there. These random people come over and give us pizza because we're sitting in the outside table, chatting, trying to figure out where are we going to look next for Patriot Prime. We've looked everywhere, and what we didn't know is there was a small little outdoor kind of bar area not too far away from where we were sitting that we hadn't even found yet because, he's not always the most observant person, and I'm blind, so, there's that. But we're sitting there, so a couple comes by and gives us some free pizza and garlic knots. That was cool. An individual came by and we were talking to them about the R2D2 that they picked up from Disney. They went and got a robot. They got an Imperial one. I think it was like they said it was black and silver with Chomper's head or something. I don't remember exactly what, but it seemed really cool. And I'm down for robots. I like robots. So we talked for a bit, and that was fun. And then this kid walked up, and they go, "Are you Blind Prime?" And I went, yes, I am. I knew you by your voice. I heard you talking, and I wanted to come over and say hi. This is my dad, and we're big fans of yours. And I'm like, "Oh my God, that's awesome. Here's my card. You can use the QR code and share it with your friends and stuff." And he goes, "Sweet. Now I have 2 cards." And I went, "2 cards? Well, who gave you the other card?" "Why, Patriot Prime." I went, "Where? Really? Where did you find Patriot Prime?" And then the kid, totally slipping up here, because my friend CCS has told me later, points directly towards Patriot Prime. Like he's that guy over there at the bar with the red Hawaiian shirt on. And I didn't say anything because he's just a kid. It kind of made me laugh a little bit. And I'm like, do you spot him, CCS's? And then he points him out. You're like, "Yeah, he's over there. Let's go." So we walk over there, bring our pizza and garlic nuts because free food is free food. You don't leave that laying around. And went over there and finally met up with Patriot Prime and Ghost Prime and Rodimus Primal and Fireside Talks and all of them. That was amazing. I think Hoist Engineering was there. Engineer Hoist was there, but I'm not sure. And Deluxe Baldwin was there, so that was cool. Yeah, I got to meet all of those people, talk for a few minutes, but my friends don't really understand the whole Transformers thing, and they really wanted to leave. So after all, they're my ride, so I just headed out after they got their food. They just shared some nice comments and stuff, and that was the first night, and it went very well. Like passed out more than 50 business cards, got people interested. Went home, got a good night's sleep, showed up the next day for the panel that I did. The panel was excellent. Check out my panel on my live section of this channel if you want to watch it. It went very well, in my opinion. I was absolutely scared out of my mind up there on that stage. His first panel, the first time jitters, and it worked out pretty well. There was a moment where midway through the panel, I lose everything in my head. Everything in my head just went outsy. It just gone. Poof. No more things in my head. And that's the moment in the video where I go, I stopped talking and I kind of looked around and went, and about this time is when a cat interrupts me. Because that was the only thing I could think of. And the crowd laughed a bit, giggled at that, and that really gave me that laughter, helped jumpstart my memory and allowed me to finish talking about what I wanted to be talking about. So it went very well on that end. I enjoyed all the questions. Beak_L actually asked a question, and I appreciate that from him because he's one of my first subscribers. And the guy from England has been a subscriber of mine for a while. Always something whenever I do these videos. My nose itches, or there's a cat, and I'm going to just absolutely obliterate something by knocking it over. Anyway, the panel went amazing. Watch it if you want. And I then left the panel and started meeting more people. And that's where I'm going to get into some of the things I picked up. Because on the first day, I only picked up 2 items. And I'm going to talk about those. But first off, what I want to talk about is the biggest item that I did get. And that is this. Let's set Cosmos over here to the side. I'll talk about him in a moment. This I got Bob Budiansky and Victor, and I think his name is Ben, the guy that voiced Bumblebee. I got all of them to sign my Optimus Alternate Universe or Optimus Prime trailer, the SDCC exclusive for 2020 that was released online. I got one because it's dead Optimus Prime. I really love that idea, and then I thought to myself when I went to the con, what better thing to have people sign than a trailer for Optimus Prime? And what better trailer than the gray one that signature should show up very well on? And I loved meeting Victor. He was amazing, and I loved meeting Bob. But really, it was Victor that did it. That guy had, he had some pizzazz to him. He was a bit older, but the guy just, there was something about that man, and it just clicked. And I love that. It was also the next day on a Sunday. I met another voice actor, David, and he voiced Kaido. He voices Kaido in One Piece, and honestly, Depth Charge is cool. Shockwave from Prime is cool. Dr. Robotnik's pretty neat, but it was Kaido from One Piece that made me just nerd out in front of him. It's just like, what? Oh my god, I've been following that. And this is where a fun story comes into play. I've been following One Piece since 1999, ladies and gentlemen. I've been there. It's been a long, long ride. And, I haven't always been the greatest at following it. I'll pick it up for a year or two, and then life happens. I set it back down. I come back a few years later, and I read and list. I would watch the story up to the point that I was in present day, and then put it down and come back a few years later and watch the story again. It's just been my life. Every few years I'll watch One Piece for like 3 weeks straight and catch up. And it's just been this. It's been kind of a background melody of my life since 2000 for the last 23 years. It's just been this background, and being able to meet a person like that who is participating in something that I've been watching and listening to for over 20 years was awe-inspiring. And then I told him that I haven't been able to watch and enjoy One Piece since 2017, since I lost my vision, and it's really upset me. I miss One Piece. I miss those characters. I miss the adventure. And I told him that they don't offer audio description in English, and it just left me out of something that I absolutely loved before. He told me that he's going to LA this weekend, and he is going to an anime convention there. And he's going to talk to the One Piece people about getting audio description for One Piece in English for me. And, you know, and that's awesome. Because if that actually works out well, that won't just be for me. That will be for all of the blind people and visually impaired out there who are fans of One Piece and who have not been able to enjoy One Piece because they lost their sight. And that means that he won't be helping just me. He'd be helping all the blind out there, and that's what this channel's about. It's not just about me, it's raising awareness and helping all the blind. If I step forward, I want the rest of the blind to step forward with me. I want us to move towards a better future together. And if I can do that with a conversation, then that would be the most significant event of the entire weekend for the blind community. And it wasn't the most significant event for me, but it was the most significant event that I believe happened for the blind community was that one conversation. And if it follows through, and if the Funimation people agree to make English description for the blind, that would have been such a success. I would consider that a very big success under my belt. That was beautiful. So let's talk about some of the other things. So I got them all to sign this, and the next day, well, I'll talk about this more in just a second. But I want to bring up another amazing, heart-touching moment. One that made me feel emotional and all of the feels. And that moment was when this man came up to me, and he explained that he had Down syndrome, and was a fan of mine. He had been watching my channel for a while, and I wish I could remember his name, but it's so many names. Next time I go to a convention, I'm going to videotape everything. Every time somebody comes up to me, I'm going to can you hold on a second? Let's turn on the camera. I can do a little short video with you. That's how I'm going to do it in the future for next convention, so I don't forget names, because I'm terrible at remembering to write them down, and then I'm terrible at seeing, so I never see what I write down. I need a note taker. I need somebody to be with me who's taking notes next time so I can remember this stuff, because this is important. And it's important for me to remember the names of the people that come up to me. If you're this individual, please put your name in the comments so I can, give me the name that you wish to be known as in the comments, and I'll shout you out the next time. But let's finish the story here. This man came up to me and he explained that he had Down syndrome, and he watches my channel and he loves my work. And I thanked him for it. And then he did something that really touched me. He said, "This is my safety shark." And I never let anybody touch it. I never let anybody hold it. But I will let you hold my safety shark. Do you want to? And of course I did. I wanted to feel what the safety shark was all about. And I said, yeah, I'd love to feel your safety shark. And he passed me his safety shark. It was this cute little, stuffed animal shark. It was really cool. And I'm like, wow, this is a really nice shark. And I passed it back to him. But in my head, I've worked with people with Down syndrome before, and I understand that some of them have safety items. It may be an action figure, it may be a coin, it may be a stuffed animal, but they'll have that safety item on them. And for that individual to trust me enough to pass me their safety item and let me touch it, that meant so much to me. I understood what that meant to them. And because they did that and let go of their safety item, it just brings tears to my eyes to this moment. That was so touching, and that was the most important moment for me. The entire convention was that interaction. That was very special for me, and I thank that person for coming up and talking to me and sharing with me their safety shark, because that meant a lot. And I thank you from the depths of my heart. That was cool. I also had a sighted individual who ended up becoming my assistant, my seeing eye assistant for the day. That they were with me with the safety shark experience. I don't know if I should name them. I don't know how they feel about it. I'll talk about it with them. But they were dressed as a female Optimus Prime from some show where, or maybe it was a manga where the Transformers characters are done up like humans. I don't know much about it, but I thought it was still pretty cool that they cosplayed as that. They didn't even want to enter the costume contest. They just wanted to cosplay, and I was like, that's where it's at. So it was cool that I got to meet them. Um, they helped me out, led me around the conference. It was really cool of them to do that. They didn't have to do that, and but they were there alone. They had some personal things happen and ended up going to the convention by themselves. And I hope that interacting with me really made their vacation that much better. I really do. I think it did, and I think they're a really cool person. And the fact that they went around and helped me out, they didn't have to do that. A previous person that I had gotten to help me out threw me on them, and then they were just like, whatever, let's go. And that was amazing. It was really cool to come across just a random person who doesn't mind helping a blind person out through the conference. But it definitely told me next time I got to bring a sighted person who understands what Transformers are, because the entire time I wanted to visit the KO booths, but this individual who's my sighted guide, she didn't watch any of, she didn't collect the toys. She just liked all the media and the artwork and stuff and the stories, but she wasn't really big on the toys. So I'm big on the toys, and it was cool of them to help me out, but at the same time, I did kind of wish I had had somebody with me who knew toys so that we could go check those out. But it ended up becoming a good thing because I spent way too much money at the convention, and I didn't even have enough money for toys after I bought all the little filler items I wanted to get for my own collection. And but to them, I thank you, and now I hope I'm getting this name right for another a booth that I went and visited, because I went and saw Proto Man and Aaron Archer. I love them. Aaron Archer helped create alternators and Benotech, which was my favorite Transformers toy line of all times. Love that toy line still to this very day, and I intend to get myself one of those Dodge Ram trucks, because apparently Aaron worked really hard to get that truck out there, and I wanna have it in my collection now. Something that somebody really pushed to have out in the field, I'd like to have in my collection. I think that would be cool. And meeting Proto Man was a blast. Finally, it's Transformers Slag podcast. Now, funny story with that. I tell my sighted friends, CCSs, and my brother to go find me. They're like, "Hey, how can we make your time in this area faster?" And I went, "I want to meet Aaron Archer and Proto Man at their booth. Can you do that?" Lines got crossed, and they thought that I was asking, "Can you find a Proto Man transformer?" So for like 30 minutes, they're going around this entire thing asking everybody, "Where's Proto Man? Where's the Proto Man action figure?" And someone finally goes, "The Proto Man's not a transformer. It's from Mega Man." And like, "Well, where's a Proto Man Mega Man action figure?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? We don't have that." And finally, somebody goes, "Do you mean Proto Man from Transformers Slag Podcast? He's over there with Aaron Archer." So my brother threw up his hands and goes, "I quit." Oh, my earbud's about to fall out. He goes, "I quit," and walked away. He went and took a nap in the car because he was a bit hungover, because him and my friends partied Saturday night, and I wasn't feeling too well because uh, I got a bad migraine after everything that happened Saturday. So he had had a hangover. Went in the truck to sleep, but I had a nice conversation with Proto Man on Sunday, and that was great. I managed to make it to the YouTubers panel on Sunday as well, which was also amazing. And when I entered the room, they actually were like, "Hey, Blind Prime has entered," and I'm like, "Oh, that's fun. I am I have made an impression," and they remembered my name, and that was really cool. So that was nice. I asked them for some advice. They could keep the videos shorter. And I'm like, "Oh, great." That's the one thing I struggle with, because sometimes you can't get everything out in 15 minutes, and you got to work very hard to figure out how to describe everything in a time manageable, in the time allotted. And I do try to keep it 15 minutes or under. That's the goal. I rarely reach my goal, but I have a goal. It's 15 minutes. This one's definitely going to go over 15 minutes, but it's whatever. So went over there, experienced the YouTubers panel, and then we had to head out because my friend needed to, CCSs needed to get back to work. He had gotten called in on Sunday, and so we needed to head out so that he could go. So I didn't get a chance to hang out after the panel and talk to the YouTubers like I wanted to, but you know, that's okay. First panel, you make mistakes, you don't do time management correctly, you miss budget. It happens on your first time. You expect that there's going to be mistakes and little problems. And the best thing to do is to learn from them, and that way the next con goes even better than the first one. It's just typical con, behavior there. So that was amazing. And for me personally, it was the weekend flew by. It's just so many people. It all blurred together, and just so many of them knew me at towards the end and said hi to me, and it were so welcoming. I just it felt really special. So here I'll go over a few of the things that I picked up from the convention. I'll start off with this, and not the trailer, but what's inside the trailer. So I visited Fireside Talks and Engineer Hoist's booth. And Fireside Talks sold me this little guy. He's Roller from Transformers, but this is the Roller that wasn't included in Earthrise Optimus Prime. And this dude, wow. Okay, he explained how he engineered it the best he could to make sure that it could fit in the trailer, and he did his best to make it very similar to the old one, even going so far as to put little little wells in there so that you can put headmasters. It can fit 4 headmasters in here. And I thought that was pretty cool. And he included siege ports. He included 1, 2, 3 siege ports. That's even better. It's just wow. Your Fireside Talks, you did a good job with this. You really did. This is really excellent. Oh wait, there's more siege ports back here. I'm sorry, not 1, 2, 3, but 4 and 5 as well. Let's see. Where's my stuff? Grimlock, you're hiding it from me, aren't you? Yeah, here they are. Let's get this one. We'll get this one here. Come on, grab it. There it is. Yeah. Let's see how it works. So we're just gonna plug these guys into the back of this because that is just super cool. That he made this out of 3D printing and his own design. That's really neat. So there you go. Look at that. It's got little jets on the back of it. It's super cool. It's super cool. You can put rockets on it. You can deck this out with some weapons and blast effects and stuff. I love it. And I wanted a roller. And then I was like, hey, do you have one in gray? So that it can match my alternate universe Optimus Prime. And he's like, yeah, we make them for alternate universe Optimus Prime. So that's what it is. Just going to put it up that little ramp. And it's going to go right in. Look at that. Look at that. And it goes back far enough where I don't know if you can put a cliff jumper in there. Let's see. Where is my cliff jumper? Where be my cliff jumper? Cliff jumper, where did you run off to? Yeah, here you are. Alright, so let's see. Can you put the cliff jumper in there as well? No. No. It doesn't want to fit the cliff jumper as well. But yeah, that's okay. This was really cool to get a roller. I love me a roller. And now my alternate universe Optimus Prime feels complete. And he also gave me a better gun for alternate universe Optimus Prime. That was a better match for the sculpting. And I honestly don't know where my alternate universe Optimus Prime went, but there it is. There's my trailer with the signatures on it, and that is just so cool. He also sold me another fun thing from Fireside Talks and Engineer Hoist. They gave me a Cosmos Riser. Yes, and he made it wide enough to put a little T light in. Not a T-shaped light, but TEA light. I made that joke with him, but it's actually really cool, and it's easy to install and take out. You just pull it out, and it's got a siege peg on top of it, or a siege port on top of it, so that you can attach a weapon to it if you wanted to, or make something out of some junkions with it. and it's also got the little bitty stud on the side, little bitty peg on the side for the flight spot. That little port that a lot of transformers have, so you can put them on flight stands and stuff. You can feel it in there, and its shape over here really helps you figure out how it's supposed to fit. You feel there's a side that's got that, and then you got the siege port, and then it folds down. It has a little slope, and if you feel, and he said it was easy to put together, and it was. He was not lying. You could feel in here that's a slide on the underside, and then on the end there, you barely feel it with your finger, is the little connector. Get in there. Yeah, little connectors in there. And you just put this in there. Make sure you put the side with the pin facing away from the slope side, and you just put it in, and then just kind of push it forwards. And he made it so well that that's all you do. There's no extra work to it. You just put it in and slide it forward a little bit, and it fits. Cosmos can, ooh, he can now just take things in, and that was something really cool. And I originally was going to get Cosmos for my panel at TFCon. I was going to go to the booths and I was going to find me a Cosmos and I was going to buy a Cosmos and I was going to talk about it that day on the panel. I mentioned this to my father weeks before I was going to go down to Orlando, and he told me, he called me later and he said, "So your mother will be giving you a call because the package should be arriving." And I'm like, "What package?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I just went ahead and bought you the Cosmos so you wouldn't have to stress about it on the day that you're doing the panel." And I've done panels before because for paramedic, and I understand, you can forget to do things before walking up there. Oh Lord, I did forget to do things, but I didn't forget to have the Cosmos on me because he took care of it. He got it for me before the convention even happened. I had it with me when in my bag when I drove down there. The night before the convention, I had it, the night before the panel, I had it with me, so I was able to take it out of the box and use some scissors to open up all the little tie downs so that whenever I opened the box, I didn't really touch the figure. I didn't go over it. I just had the tie downs, and then because I wanted to be honest with people, and I took it there, and that way, whenever I opened it up at the panel, all I had to do was slide the figure out. There was going to be time wasted trying to figure out how to get it out of the box, which was very nice because there were some problems. They didn't twist the ties for Cosmos. They actually tied them. Usually they just twist them really hard. So all you have to do is untwist them. But they tied them, and one of the knots was too tight to untie, so I had to scissor it. And I'm glad that I got the stand from Fireside Talks for that. And Fireside Talks also sold me a couple of more items other than the gun for Optimus Prime, which I don't remember where I put it. But he sold me this really fun sword for Grimlock. I got a cool sword for Grimlock. It's not too bad. And I got the sword that came with Snarl. So let's pull out Grimlock's sword. Come on, Grimlock's sword. Pull out. Come on, Grimlock's sword. Grimlock's sword. Oh, man. Oh, there it goes. Good grief. Eh, maybe that needs to be shaved down a bit. But let's take a look at this one. Pull you out. All right. So we have Snarl's sword, and we have Grimlock's sword now. And I like them both, but he did such a good job with Grimlock's sword. He said he made it on the I don't remember the model he used for it because I remember this guy having fire sword, but this crazy awesome thing that feels like it belongs to Ichigo Usagi from Bleach is just it's much cooler. I like this sword a lot better than Snarl's sword. So now Grimlock has two swords because he refuses to give Snarl his sword back. Total Grimlock move there. So let's give Grimlock his swords back, and there's one more item for Grimlock that I was able to get a hold of, and that item, flip him around, is some teeth. Yes, it was annoying that Grimlock had no teeth on his jaw. His front teeth were just non-existent, and so he gave me this crazy feeling piece that he said would just pop in there, and piece is large for how small these teeth are, but he was right. I popped it in there and it snapped into place, and now it ain't coming out. I don't know what he did to design that. I don't know how he did that. I am just amazed. And I don't know if it was Engineer Hoist or Fire Talks that did that, but wow. That right there. Those teeth, that engineering that went into that, the fact that it snaps in so well. Yeah, just set it in there and push down a little bit and it went snap and it doesn't come back out. It's cool. I only wish that there was one for the underjaw as well. I had gotten a second one, but those teeth on the front do kind of fold over enough where it hides the underjaw. But now my T-Rex mouth has teeth going all the way around, and I love it. So that's what I got from Fireside Talks. Uh, really fun guy. I appreciated talking to them. I was glad I got a chance to meet them. And I didn't even know they existed or Engineer Hoist existed before finding them at the booth. But as soon as I figure out how to, if Fireside Talks actually has a YouTube channel or not, I'm going to be subscribing to it. And then the most incredible thing, I think they're called Rocket Chicken Studios. And they, one of the lady behind the counter was named Kat. And I, for the life of me, cannot remember the sculptor's name. And I apologize for that. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I need to have a note taker with me next time so that I can remember all the names in order to actually cover them all on the video I do after the convention. Um, Lessons learned, but I believe it was Rocket Chicken Studios, and this is a scale model of the mountain that the Ark crashed into, and it's just beautiful. It's the volcano. It feels like it looked in the show. And it's just amazing, and I love it. I love the Ark here. All of the textures for this Ark are superb. It's just the five engines. You only see three of them, but you know it's got five, which was really cool. They actually included all five engines on this, unlike the Ark that we got from Kingdom. And then underside, you can feel the door for the ramp that comes out from underneath it, so they can drive out from the underside of the mountain. And I have forgotten some of these details just because I hadn't seen it in so long. And so getting a chance to feel it, and what it feels like is that he actually made a little arc, a complete little arc, and then he put it inside of this mountain and made a mountain around it. And that's just really, really cool. And that booth was amazing. If you didn't get a chance to check out that booth with all the statues, you missed out, my friend. You missed out heavily. There were I'm not a big statue lover, but that statue of Cybertron, the big one that was bigger than a volleyball, it was just massive. Think of a volleyball and then make it a little bit larger than that, and you got it. Not volleyball, a beach ball, not volleyball, beach ball. A beach ball. Think of a beach ball and make it a little bit larger, and that's what that the Cybertron size was. And it was detailed. He explained it took him years to make it. He went in and individually made every tower of every city and glued them in place, and you can feel it all. You can feel inside of all the cracks of the planet, and you can feel all of the individual cities. I have never fallen in love with a sculpture before. Like, I've come across sculptures all my life and paintings. I'm a person who appreciates art, but I've never come across a piece of art in my entire life that I immediately went, I must have this in my home. And I regretted I didn't have the money for it. But if I come to another convention and I actually have the money on hand and that thing hasn't sold yet, bet you bottom dollar I'm buying it, because that's something special. It's something that needs to be shown. It was really amazing, and I know that it was a work of love. I could talk about that sculpture for hours. I felt that sculpture, left and right, up and down. All the everything about it was just simply amazing. And the most amazing part was I was talking to him about this mountain, and this was before I found the Cybertron statue. And I was just like, dude, I love this mountain. I love that beginning scene, and you know, I've tried to replicate it in my head a few times, and I haven't been able to get it right because I know I'm forgetting things about it. The memory ain't always what it used to be. So it's cool that he had this, and I was feeling it. I'm like, wow, dude, this is amazing. This is exactly like it was in the show. Good job with this. This is truly awe-inspiring, and because I appreciate good work. And he picked it up and put it in my hand and told me he gives one out, and he would give me this one, and I'm like, what? Really? He goes, yeah, take it, man. Take it. You appreciate it, so you have it. I appreciate what you're doing with your channel, and I want you to continue, and I want you to have this. And wow, his helper, his partner was named Kat, and I remember her name very well because my grandmother was Kitty, and I had a grandma Kitty growing up. So I remember the name Kat more than I remember his name, and that's how I remember it. I just wish I could remember his name because they were truly great people. They were really amazing people. They shone with an inner light. It was wonderful. The entire convention was exhausting, but it was a good exhaustion. I left smiling. I'm still smiling, remembering all the good times that we had there and everybody that I met and how just amazing it all was. And I'm so happy that I left my comfort zone and went down there and experienced it. And that's the message I want to leave with you today. Leave your comfort zone. Go out and experience something that you're a little scared about. Because I'll tell you this: watch my video where I'm sitting up there on the panel, and know this while watching it. I was terrified. Sitting up there, I was scared. I was scared that I was going to screw it up. I was scared I was going to do something wrong. But I went with it. I continued to roll with it. I had already planned everything out. I had memorized what I wanted to say. And the only reason I was scared was just because it was new and there were a lot of opportunities for failure. But you just push through the fear. You got to push through the fear and you got to try. Because, yes, what if you fail? But ask yourself this question instead: what if you succeed? Thank you for watching my channel. And thank you to all of those people who came up to me and shook my hand and talked to me, who told me they had watched my channel in the past and they were subscribers. It meant a lot for me to meet you, and it meant a lot for you to find me. And next time I'm at a convention, I want all of you to find me because I won't be able to find you. So if you see the guy in the hat, you know where I'm at. Just look for the hat, come say hi whenever you see me at a convention, and I will be happy to talk with you because that was amazing meeting fans. I haven't had that happen to me since I quit stand-up comedy, and that's great. Until next Pride, thank you all so much for everything you've done for me with this channel and helped me and supported me with this channel. And I've just been touched deep. It's touching. Yeah, I'm getting emotional. I just wow. I'm still writing the experience of just how amazing everybody at that conference was, and I thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And here's to another year of blind prime and more than meets the eye, and blind farmers, and blind builds, and blind armor, and blind talks, and all those things that I do in this channel to help raise awareness for the blind. And here's to you, all of my viewers. Go out and have a great day. Until next Pride, bye bye for now.